Welcome to Where There's Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and today I'm here with my first ever BGA month in review for the month of December 2024. If you don't know what BGA is, it is Board Game Arena. It is a place where you can go on and you can play games that you know, you can learn new games, play with some really great people. So let's get to the Board Game Arena report here. I'm trying to bounce between some different things here. All right, so let's get over here to Board Game Arena and take a look around. So, in the month of December, we're just going to go through the games that I played. So, starting with Captain Flip. Captain Flip is, let's see if we can find a game here. Watch a game in progress. Let's just pop in here. In Captain Flip, you are getting these tiles, and then you choose if you want to place them face up or flip them and put them face down into your board. And each one of them has some different powers and scores differently and does some different things. And yeah, it's a really fun game. There's different maps. I've only played a couple of the maps. This map looks pretty cool. I've not seen this one. I've not have played this one. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out as well at some point. But yeah, so you can see they're getting these tiles. They're deciding if they want to play that tile. He played that one. He got 4 points. Plus, he's got this cartographer map, this treasure map, which allows you to get more points. The gunner uh, is really strong. He gets 5 coins. But if you have 3 of them in your board, on your board, you lose the game. Okay, so you got to be careful. If you get 2 of them on your board, then you end up getting some really you almost have to flip ever or not flip ever. So yeah, that is Captain Flip. My iPad just went to sleep on me. The next game I played is Far Away. And Far Away is a tile laying kind of tableau building game. Let's see if we can find one that's in action here, where you are laying tiles down. Oh, there is nothing. Oh, maybe. Okay, let's try a different one here. I wonder if I'm going to be able to see anything. Let's see what I'm going to be able to see. Okay, so when you lay tiles down, you lay them down left to right in 2 rows of 4. But when you score them from right to left. So see, this person has this, but in order to score this, they need to get a nighttime card. They need to get, all right, they're going to score 3 points for every nighttime card they have. So there's nighttime and daytime cards, but they need to have all 3 of these. I think they're called idols. Oh, the stones, the Udo stones. Um, you need to have all 3 of these in order for this to score before you lay things down. Let's see if there's another one that is a little further along that I can show you. Maybe this one. So you can see this person, in order to score, they scored 12 points for this. So they scored for all of the red tiles they had, including these sanctuaries that you can get by playing a number that's higher than the one before, or by having these sanctuary tokens on here. And then they needed 2 of this idol, I think is what they're called. And you can see they had 1 here, and then these count for everything, so they had another one there. This one did not score because this was the first thing that flipped over. And when this flipped over, they did not have 3 of these. They only had 2 of them up here. So this one didn't score anything. So that is Far Away. That's a really fun one. It's one that I don't have access to on the tabletop, but I play it a lot. If you saw my Board Game Arena year in review, I believe this was my number 1 favorite game, and I think it was one of my most played last year as well. I played that only once in December. And then Welcome to is a roll and write, flip and write, where you are trying to put houses in numerical order. You are trying to fill in houses in order and fulfill these contracts over here on the side. So you see this contract here in the middle, number 2. You need a neighborhood of 3, 3, and 4. So you can see they're putting fences in to make this neighborhood a 3 neighborhood. And they've got a 3 neighborhood here. and then they've gotten a pool, so you can get pools and parks. Parks fill in up here when you get them. Pools, it identifies it for you. Then you can also change numbers as well, and whoever has the most of these used gets 7 points. And then this tracker right here gives you it increases how much each one of those is worth. So they right now, every one of their neighborhoods of 3 is going to be worth 6 points. All right, moving on. And I should really bring this up on my phone so that I can see if anybody is chatting. So give me just 1 minute here because I cannot see the way I have this set up. So let's see if I can bring this up. It is not letting me bring up what I need to see on my phone. That's weird. This is not showing up. So I don't know. So I don't know if anybody is chatting along. Let me see if I can pull this up somewhere. Oh, I know why. Okay, it's on here. So let's open this up a little bit bigger. Nope, that's not where it is. Okay, well, let's just move on. If anybody's chatting, I apologize. I can't actually see any of the chat. And let's see if I can do it like this. Let me pull up something here real quick and see if there's any. Nope. Okay, good. So I'm not missing anything. We'll set this over here just in case. All right. The next game I played is Potion Explosion. And those first couple games, yeah, played with some good friends that I played quite a bit with online. Let's see, Potion Explosion. Ooh, 0%, 0%, 0%. Any of these? Here we go. Here's one that is playing right now. So what you do in Potion Explosion is you are going to take take marbles, and you're going to pull them out of this track. And when you do, if colors hit each other, then you will get them as well. So if like this red was taken, these blues would hit each other. You would also get all three of these blues. You're trying to fill in these potions, which give you some different abilities, and you're trying to also get these little awards over here, which is your countdowns. And if you get a certain number of the same potions or different potions, you get some rewards there. So you can see like see, where's a good example here? Not one really set up. So like this red one would make these two blues hit each other. You would get those blues as well. If you take one in different colors, matte or hit each other, then it's not going to do anything. And then you take them into this area up here, and you can place them down here for later, or you can place them onto a potion. When you fill this in, you get a potion down here. That is Potion Explosion. Harmonies. All right. Harmonies is, I think a lot of people probably know about Harmonies. This is one of the big games from last year. Um, last year. It feels weird to say last year. So in Harmonies, you are trying to fulfill these different animal cards by taking tokens off of the board here and putting them in certain configurations. So you can see for this butterfly here, not sure what they did. Oh, they took their turn back or something. They need the yellow fields and the blue rivers in this configuration. So you score points for doing this. This is a wild spirit card, and then this you need a building that is too high, and the reds can be placed on top of reds, grays, which are mountains, or browns, which are trees. And every time you do that, you can place one of these tokens here on the red. And then you also score based on your river. You're on this side of the board based on your longest river, and then mountains that are next to each other score, and buildings that are surrounded. I think it's by 3 or more different things score. I don't remember exactly how the fields score, and then the trees score based on height. So if you have one green, it's a certain. If you have a brown and green, it's another price. If you have two browns and a green, is another price. This one is a really fun game. We have this one on the tabletop as well. I really like playing this one, and just the puzzle of trying to get these cards that kind of overlap each other, so you can use the same uh, tokens for multiple scoring cards. But once I place a tie or a one of these cubes on one of these tokens, I can't place another cube on that token. So you got to be very careful with how you're doing that. So that is Harmonies. The next one is Fromage, and I didn't even realize I played this in December. So in Fromage, and I actually just learned this on the tabletop the other day, and then played it again on BGA just to make sure I was playing correctly. So in Fromage, you are cheesemakers, and each one of these boards kind of has a mini game to it. Let's see if I can zoom this out a little bit so we can see this board. So each one of these boards is a different, you're placing a worker on them, and you have three different workers, one for each cheese type, soft cheese, hard cheese, and what's the other one? This one, oh, and blue cheese. So soft cheese, hard cheese, and blue cheese. And depending on how many players, different spaces are open. Each one of these areas is kind of a mini game on its own. So in this area here in the bistro, what you want to do is you want to try and get two cheese plates at the same table. Because if you can do that more times, then each one of the different the aged 1 year, aged 2 year, and aged 3 year, the bronze, the silver, and the gold are worth more points. Over here in the villas, it's an area control. So it's an area majority. So whoever has the most cheese in an area gets that visitor. And you can see the dark brown ones are worth 3 points or 5 points. The light brown 4, and the lightest, the whitish ones almost are worth 3 points. Up here in the fromagerie, you want to have a cheese on as many different tables or display tables as possible. The more you do, the more points you have. And the festival, you want to connect orthogonally adjacent pieces as much as you can. And these ones that are the three different colors, those are wild. So those will connect to anything. And then in the middle here, what you have is you have different resources. So you have cards, which are orders. You have berries to make fruit wines or so fruity cheese and fruit jams. And then you have buildings to upgrade your buildings down here to get some extra points. I'll show you the player board in a little bit. And then and then cows allow you to get extra cheeses. So down here on the player board, you can see this person has one. Um, this person on the bottom has one um, berry in their basket, and they've made a fruit cheese. They need to make a jam as well so that they can multiply their number of fruit cheeses by their jams to get a score. The 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 animals you can put into these parlors, and you can make extra cheeses to place without having to place your worker. And then the buildings give you some extra abilities. I'm just trying to check. I'm trying to see. I don't think the cursor is showing up on screen. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I'm just checking. I'm making sure. This is my first time doing this, so I'm just kind of making sure. So the unique thing about this worker placement is when you place your worker, you're only going to get them back when they are facing you again. So if you look at the fromagerie, if I place it in one that is placing to the right, so if I place something in a cheese slice that is placing to the right, I'll get it back on the next turn. If I place one that is facing straight ahead, it takes me 2 turns. You can see there's a 2 on there. That tells you how many turns you have until you get back. And on the 3, it's 3 turns, but you get more things. So in this middle section, if you place it on 3, you get 3 of those. When you place them in the areas, not in the middle, you have to place in one of your cheese slices and then your worker on top of it. In the middle here, you just place your worker. So I really like this worker placement. And like, okay, I want this worker back over here. What can I do so I can still use it right now? So that is Fromage. That is a really fun game. Really fun worker placement game. And moving on to Ticket to Ride, and actually, we played the we played the Switzerland map, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find. Oh, it does say USA, 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 Switzerland. Perfect. Doesn't look like they've made any moves, but so in the Switzerland map, the base gameplay is the same as Ticket to Ride, although you have these tunnels, which were introduced, I believe, in Europe and are in several other versions of the game, which play a little differently. So for these tunnels, you see this tunnel here is 2 white. But if you play 2 white to earn it, you have to draw 3 more cards off the top of the pile. And the top of the pile, if any whites or wilds come up, you have to play more cards that are white or wild to back it up. So this 2 white tunnel could actually become 5. The other unique thing about this one is wilds can only be used in tunnels, and you can actually draw 2 wilds off the face up pile, which is different. The other big difference in this version compared to some of the other versions is that there are cards that go from country to country, and they'll have 3 different locations. So it might say Italia to Deutschland, France, and Österreich. And depending on where you go, they're worth a different point value. So it's probably like maybe a couple points here, then it's more there, and if you get all the way there, it's worth even more. They also have some that go from cities to the different countries. And whichever one you get to that costs the most, you actually get the highest value. So you want to try and get some of the points, but then if you can get somewhere further, it's really beneficial. I really like this map. I love the tunnels in this one. I love the tunnels to begin with. And I like the uniqueness of going from country to country or um, city to country. So that's really fun. So that is Ticket to Ride Switzerland. You can find that under the Ticket to Ride map. And you can see it. I have multiple games going on right now, and you can see it is my turn in at least 2 of them. Next is Draft and Write Records. Let's get into a game of this. All right, this one's almost done, so we'll get into this one. So, Draft and Write Records is a draft and write game where you are trying to build a band. And when you are taking cards, you are trying to make your band, you're trying to tour, you're trying to put out records and singles, you're trying to increase your assets, you're trying to make harmonies within your band, and you are trying to make sure your agenda is all in order. And you get lots. This one is a very um, is a crunchier flip and right that can lead to some amazing combos. So when you connect your bandmates, depending on where they are, and you do have to open up these middle ones by buying them, and you can see some. This person has a lot of stuff crossed off, so they are doing really well. Um, if you connect and 2 of them are the same color, you get to go down here because you've made harmony, and then you get to cross off more stuff down here. And these things allow you, some of these allow you to cross up more things around here. Up here in the records and signals, when you score the number of the number of records by the number of singles you have, and there's some bonuses here. In here in the touring section on the left, when you get to certain areas, you have points. You can see over here. If this person were you start in the upper left of it, and if you were to go to the right, you can see there's some $signs. So those need to be unlocked. And then over here in the turquoise section, which is your uh, uh, assets, when you connect 2 things, you get some bonuses as well. And up in the yellow section here is the agenda. So when you get straight lines, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, you get some bonuses as well. So if you can plan these out and you can get some combos, you can get some really big combos. I've had some like where I've comboed like 9 or 10 things in a row. And then there are individual bonuses, which this person must have fulfilled theirs already because it's gone. And then there's shared bonuses, which at the end of a round, it will allow you to take these and you get some bonuses off these and you get some points. The end game is either when someone completely fills up their band, someone gets 6 bonuses, which this person has, or somebody over here, if you can't do something, you have to mark through these, and I can't remember what this is called. Fail. So if you fail 5 times, that's the end game. and then it adds up the scores for all those things. So Draft and Write Records, that one is one that I play quite often. And the next game that I played is one that was new to me last year on the tabletop, and it is currently in beta on BGA. And that is Let's Go to Japan. Played this a few times just to see how the interface works on this. And in Let's Go to Japan, which this looks like this is a solo game, which is just fine. You're drafting cards. You're drafting cards for two different places. Let me get a multiplayer game up here. Over here. All right. So you're drafting cards and you are trying to put them in your individual tableau. You're trying to plan a trip to Japan. And in this, you're trying to fulfill, each day has a different fulfillment that you need, like food and energy, I think this is, or positive experiences, so positive money and energy, nature, temples. I don't remember what they're all called. I wonder if I can scroll over them. Nope. Um, so when you do, at the end of the round, so at the end of the game, you'll have three in each, but this person looks like they took a walk at some point. And then what you do is you score. So they all score, but then on the bottom of these, this is your highlight of the day. And so you can see if this person has three of these speech tokens prior to this card, they will get 8 extra points. So they're scoring some good points there because they have three of these. And then you can see they have some trains. So you're going between Tokyo and Kyoto in Japan, and you're planning your trip. And then what happens is as you go through your trip, you go day by day, and these tokens start moving across so you can get more points. The happier you are, the more points you will get. The angrier or sadder you are, it'll take points away. When you go from one city to the other, you have to use a train. You can earn if you get 3 things of the same in a column that match the daily goal. You can get trains that will add points. Otherwise, you might end up with trains that subtract points. It's a really fun tableau builder. On BGA, it's really good because it does all the scoring for you. But I also like the tactile feel of this on the tabletop and the actual passing of the cards. So when you take cards, you take each round. Let's see if I can. They don't have the. I find another one and see if I can show you the guide for the guide for. Oops. How you actually draw cards. That looks like there's a good one. So let's just jump into this one because it probably is going to show it at the top. So in the first round, you take a card from Tokyo and Kyoto. You play one and pass one. You do that for those 4 rounds. And then you're going to end up with 4 cards in a face down pile. And then from there, this round you're gonna actually take those 4 cards and you have to play 2 of those and pass 2 of them. Then you take 2 more from each city and you play 2 and pass 2. Then you're gonna play from the 4 that you have face down, and then you repeat that. And in this round, it passes the other way. So you might be going to the clockwise one for the first one, and then once you get here, you pass counterclockwise. So you can see they're here, so they're playing from their hand, and then here you just the 2 cards that you have left or that were past you, you play one of those and you pass one, and then you keep on going. And you can see how that works. So that is Let's Go to Japan, a very fun tabletop experience and BGA experience. Next one is River of Gold. I'm gonna be honest, we learned this on a board game night that I do or that I kind of take part in every other Wednesday. I'm not really sure what I was doing, so I'm not gonna be able to explain this one real well. I know you're moving down this river and you're trying to place some things in these spaces and move across these. I'm not even going to try to explain this because I wasn't really sure what I'm doing. I do want to play this again. It is quite a bit of scrolling, which is not always the greatest on BJ. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to even try and describe because we played it once. It was like mid-December, and I don't really remember. Don't really remember what I was doing at all. It was actually early December, so it was almost a full month. It was a full month ago now, actually over a month ago. So I'm not even going to try and describe that one. Um, I enjoyed it, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So next one is Cartographers. And cartographers is one that you've heard me talk about quite a bit on the tabletop on some of our month end reviews. So in cartographers, you are a cartographer and you are trying to uh, fulfill these different contracts. Each contract is a different thing. Each round you draw a card. So in the spring, you're trying to do A and B. You can see these two are highlighted. You're trying to do some different things. This person looks like they are doing a strategy that I would do, and they are trying to build up C, and they're trying to get full rows, which is something I would probably do as well, just because this one scores quite a bit for each row or column. So they're trying to get some rows and columns in here just to make sure they can score that one later. So when the card is drawn, you draw a shape, you fill it in with a certain land type, and then you score based on what you are. You score based on what the categories are. So this one is earn one reputation star for each forest space adjacent to the edge of the map. So they're trying to put a lot of forests along the edge of the map, which they're doing quite nicely. But they're also trying to get these rows for later on because they're obviously not getting any of this. So they're kind of maybe they're just going to completely skip this one or try and score minimally on this, and then they're going to try and build towards this and score this later, which is something I do. One thing I'm not crazy about the multiplayer mode is I don't like screwing people over. So I don't like the ambushes in multiplayer. I prefer it when the game and solo play just kind of tells you like, oh, look, this is where it's going. So that is cartographers. The next one is Castle Combo. Played this one a couple times. In Castle Combo, you are trying to fill out a tableau once again with cards that have different abilities. So you're going to end up filling out a 3x3 grid, and you can see each one does something different. So this ability on this one, they for every one of the characters that has a brown thing, I think that's the nobles. Let's see, what is this? The noble pile and the aristocrat pile or something. I don't remember exactly what they're called. It costs you one less. So you can have some keys which allow you to move the messenger and choose which row you want to come from. If you wipe this clean and refill it, um, you can do that. You can also play a card face down to earn some more coins. And there's different ways, like this person has some coins stashed on here. They all have different colored shields on them, and some of them score based on the shields, some of them score based on coins. Some of them are immediate scoring, some of them are end game scoring. It's a really fun little puzzle to try and figure out which characters you want and when you want to place them. And then Planet Unknown. This is one that I play quite often on BGA as well. I still really have no strategy whatsoever for this game. Let's see if I can find one that's a little bit further in. Here we go. But I enjoy playing it. I like polyomino games. So you in this game you are getting different polyominoes that have multiple different things on them, and when you place them, you can move up different tracks. You get different things as you move up these tracks. This one allows you to move a rover to collect these and to collect these things down here. These life pods and these, what are these called? And the meteorites. The energy ones here allow you to do any one of the things that's around it. And so you're just trying to fill your fill your board as much you can before the game ends and score points in various ways. There's a couple different goals that are going on. So you can see there's some different goals here with you and the person next to you. There's some different maps and some different starting things that allow you to kind of change this over here, which kind of corporation you are, and your map, which there's some really interesting ones that we've seen. Uh, so that is Planet Unknown. Like I said, I really have no strategy for that game, and I think I've won it once because I don't have any strategy for that game. Next one is another one that I play quite often. In fact, I have a game of this going right now on BGA. Just kind of checking back and forth, make sure my stuff is working properly here. And that is Tapestry. In Tapestry, you are moving along different tracks, a military track, a science track, and what is this one called? Why can't I think what this one's called? A technology track and an observation track, exploration track. And you are moving along this as well as you are having a civilization that gives you some abilities, and you have a capital mat over here where you can place things. So as you move along these tracks, you are gaining different things depending on what it is. Every three, when you move into a new age, there's a special building, a landmark building that you can place onto your mat if you're the first one there. Each one of these spaces gives you some different abilities to do. You're doing some tile laying and movement, and then you are also trying to get these buildings so that you can get more resources. So it's a resource management, um, tile laying, uh, track running or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how to call it. Track running game. And it's a lot of fun. We play this quite often on BGA. I do have the tabletop version. I think I prefer playing it on BGA multiplayer. And moving into the final two here. Played Railroad Inc. a few times solo just for one of my challenges. And this is one that I've played quite often on the tabletop and on the app. Let's see if there's anything here that is done or any progression. No, these are all at 0%. Seriously, these are all at 0. Oh my lord, that is a huge game of it. That is a lot of people playing one game, especially turn based. Oh my god, that must take forever. None of the... Okay, let me just pop in here. I can't believe that none of these have any progression on them. Okay, they do. So this one they're using the red expansion, which I'm not sure I realized was on here. So what you do is you roll the dice, and it gives you roads and tracks. You're trying to connect roads around, and you're trying to connect trains and roads. You score at the end of the game based on your longest, based on how many of these exits you've connected overall, your longest road, your longest train, how many tiles you, or how many dice you have placed in the middle, and then if you have any tracks that don't have an end right now, you lose points. So you can see they're losing points from 6 of these tracks because they don't have end spots. Okay. Just a quick little roll and write. I really enjoy this one as well. I play this one quite often. It's very quick to play. And that brings me to the last game that I played on BGA, and that is Stone Spine Architects. I'll be honest, I was pretty shocked when this one popped up because this one was brand new. Kickstarter just delivered like in the summer. Let's see if I can find one that is. So basically, Stone Spine Architects is a dungeon building game, and you are trying to build a 4x4 dungeon. It is also a blind drafting game. So in the first round, you start with one more than the number of cards. You play one, you pass the rest over. Then you are going to draw a new card, and you're trying to do some different things. So you can see the gold card here at the end is whoever has the most slimes in their dungeon gets 15 points, and then 9, then 5. Each round, after you've placed 4 things in your dungeon, you then will, depending on how much gold you have, you can see there's gold values on the bottoms of these, you get to buy some things from the market. There's challenge cards at the end of each round. People can choose those. Whoever goes out first gets to choose one of those first. Whoever decides to pass first. You're trying to also connect as many of your dungeon spaces to the start and as many to the finish as possible because you get some good scoring on that. I really like this game. I do have the physical version that I play solo. Played this multiple times. Multiplayer with Paul from Dads and Dice, and I think we need to get a game of this going again. This is a lot of fun. So you can see they're in construction phase 3 or 4 in this round. So every round there's 4 construction phases. If you have these treasure chests, you can add that much gold. So you see this person right now is 2 gold plus 2 extra treasure chests, so they have 4 gold. They'll cover up these 2 spaces, and then that'll tell you how much gold they have and kind of like who gets to choose the stuff here. You're also trying to make your dungeon in this configuration. So you're trying to get this person's trying to get treasure and then a rock space and a goblin and a rock space and a rock space and a gelatinous cube and a slime and a rock space. And the more of those that you have, the more points you get. So yeah, that is Stone Spine Architects. And so let's go kind of see what's going on here with some stuff that's coming. So we just found out the other day that Diced Veggies is in beta. On for some people, you can say, "Oh, it is for me as well." So you can see Diced Veggies is here. Um, oops, that's not. I have a game going of that. I like Diced Veggies. It's one of my favorite tabletop games. Um, I think I like the tabletop better because you actually have the cleaver. Panda Spin, which I just heard about the other day, um, is also in beta. Rats of Wistar, I've heard. Oh, I just noticed Guild of Merchant Explorers is in beta. Oh, might have to start one of those up. I really enjoy that game. So a lot of good games. Don't know much about many of these. Beer and Bread is one that I've heard about and I'm intrigued to maybe try it. Superstore 3000 I heard about at the end of 2024. Kind of intrigued with that one. Stone Smite Architect still in beta. It's been in beta. Splitter. Oh, that one I did not know was on here. I'm interested in that one, so I might have to try that one even solo just to see what it's about. Vegetable Stock is in alpha. It's been in alpha for quite some time. So when you're on here, you can see you can sort different ways. Lots of different ways. You can go by tile placement or multi medium length games, cooperative games, whatever you want to do. So let's go back here. And let's go back to big. So there was my month of December 2024 for Board Game Arena. If you guys play on Board Game Arena, drop me a line. My name on there is Wisco Wills. Let me actually type that in here. Uh, let's type that in here. And yeah, let's put this in here. So if you want to play with me on BGA, I'm always up for some games. I will tell you, I am not a. Whoa, what happened there? I am not a take that sort of person. Um, I don't play games where I hate draft. So if that's the type of player you are, where you take that and you're gonna be like, I'm probably not gonna have fun playing with you. Probably won't play many games. But if you just like a casual game and you're okay, just even games like Azul where you're just kind of playing your own thing and you're just having fun, yeah, drop me a line. Let me. I'd love to play with you guys. I just realized I don't have an end screen for this because this is my first one. So if you like this video, please hit that like button down below and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for games or want to play, drop your handle in the comments. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and I'll see you next time.